The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Hosted by me, Carl B. Phillips, Uncle Carl.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Get ready for another great conversation on the Carl B. Phillips Show. Welcome to the Carl B. Phillips Show. I am Carl B. Phillips, Uncle Carl. My guest today is from Detroit, Michigan. He is a worshiper, husband, drummer, vocalist, songwriter, and the winner of the Bethany Christian Services Battle of the Family competition. Please help me welcome Bam Travis. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on, sir? Glad to be here with you.
I'm glad to have you on board. Now, I warned you, I'm going to ask random questions.
Okay.
If we're celebrating something that happened to you in the past 2 months, what are we celebrating?
In the past 2 months, I just celebrated my 10th wedding anniversary this past August 10th, this past Thursday. So that's something to celebrate right there. So
10 years. That is a blessing. And that's the right answer. So if your wife watched this, you're not in trouble.
I'm not in trouble now. I'm good. Yes, sir.
Well, speaking of that, you've been married to your wife, Ashley, as you stated, for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Being married to a musician sometimes can be challenging for a lot of relationships.
Mm-hmm.
How did the two of you make it work?
Well, I think it's something you asked that question because we was just talking about this yesterday. I think as a musician, we have to understand, first of all, make sure God told you to marry that person. That's first.
Right.
And then when you do, you have to understand balance. There are times when you got to pull away from your creative juices and kind of, balance things out with your spouse and be there for them, as well as doing what God told you to do. I think it's a balance because sometimes us musicians, once we get going, we get going, man. So, and I also think it's important for them to understand too, on the flip side, the calling of God on our lives.
Right.
So if we both work together collectively, I think it all can work out.
I have a joke that I tell wives of musicians, like, you the side chick. Music is the first love.
That's hilarious.
But Bam, let's be real.
I hear you, Doc. I hear you. I'm listening. I ain't getting in trouble tonight, but I'm listening.
You met your wife Ashley in high school.
Yeah.
How did you know she was the one for you?
Man, it's something that you ask these questions. I wasn't the type of guy that was running around looking for women to just get with and be with. When I saw her in high school. Actually, we met in high school.
Mm-hmm.
She was in a classroom. She had a class with me, and I saw her from a distance. First thing I noticed was her eyes. She has beautiful hazel eyes. So those eyes got my attention. I'm sitting there like, who is this girl? I was sitting next to my boy Terrell. I'm like, who is this girl over there? And she didn't have that swag of trying to pull attention from guys or trying to get people to notice her. She was all, to herself. And that kind of, if anybody know me, that's what really gets my attention, when you're not the type of girl that's just trying to be out there.
Right.
So I just noticed her from a distance, man, and I was nervous. He was like, if you like her, go get her number. Man, I was shaking, I was sweating, man. I walked up to her. I think I had a piece of paper and a pencil in my hand. I was like, can I get your number? And I was like, I just noticed you from a distance. You're so beautiful. She was like, I'm flattered. And she gave me her number, so it must have worked, because we here.
20 years later.
Yeah, man, pretty much 20 years later, we still rocking, man. So
now you've been doing music a whole lot of years.
Yeah.
You started singing at 2, playing drums at 4.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like growing up doing music?
I would say it was second nature, man, because I grew up in such a musical family.
Mm-hmm.
My mother sings. I pretty much learned to sing just listening to my mom. My dad plays the guitar. All my mom's siblings either play or sing. My grandmother, she was a elder in the church. She sung. So it was just kind of it was easy for me to kind of just fall into loving music, man. At the age of 2, as far as I can remember, I just remember loving to sing and play drums, man. That's my heart and passion.
As a young person, who did you try to mimic when it came to singing?
Ooh, as a young person. Ooh, that's I listen as a young person. I listened to a lot of Take 6. I remember my dad would play Take 6 in commission in a car a lot. So I would, of course, Fred Hammond was somebody that was always in my ear, man.
Wow.
Kim Burrell, we listened to Kim Burrell, a lot of jazz music too, man. But mainly, I would say Fred Hammond, the Winans. Those were Marvin Winans. Those were people that I listened to growing up as a child.
Those they still are the GOATs.
Yes, they are. Facts.
Marvin, he is so creative.
Ooh, so smooth.
I mean, I've seen him just go out and just do some ad-libs. You're like, where'd that come from?
Where'd that come from, dude? How?
How did you think of that?
Yeah. It's effortless too, man.
Yeah, they're just smooth, just really smooth with what he does.
Yeah.
So I stalked your Facebook page, Instagram, so I could kind of get to know you a little bit.
Sure.
And one of the things that really impressed me was your fitness journey and how in over 5 years you've shed a lot of weight.
Yes.
What was behind your decision to start that fitness journey?
I think first and foremost, man, was me. My grandfather left here, in my opinion, he left here too early.
Mm-hmm.
And he retired from Ford Motor Company, was one of the, another great example in my life. But I think he could have been a lot healthier in his journey if eating right and taking care of his body was something that he prioritized later in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that. Say, my granddad didn't get to stay here longer. I said, I don't want to fall in that same road, because I was eating what I wanted to eat. I was, whatever my wife cooked, I was going to eat it, so, but I thought about it. I said, man, I want to be here for a long time. And my father always stayed fit. So he would always be in my ear too. Mm-hmm. But I said, I got to do this for myself, man. So 2018, my spiritual mother, Dr. Beverly, she's in fitness too. She kind of been guiding me on just how to take care of myself as far as eating. And it just a light bulb came on, man. And I stayed in the gym. I started off with the keto diet. And after that, I kind of learned how to navigate my body. Everybody's body is different. Right. But I learned what worked for me and staying in the gym and kept it off, man. 70 plus pounds. I kept it off. Yep, for 5 years now.
So as a musician, as a singer, how does your fitness journey impact what you do now? Do you feel a lot different when you're playing, a lot different when you're singing because of this journey that you're on?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's very, very important. I noticed that I'm not as winded as I used to be. I noticed that I'm more energetic, and I think sharper too. You have a lot more confidence when you feel like you shed some weight. It actually helps you mentally too. So I think it's important, and preparation is important too. As far as where God wants to take me, I think it was important that I, tackle those things early along the way. So that's definitely a part of the journey. That's something you talking about fitness, because that's look out for that too, because I'm in school to be a personal trainer too. So
we found something new out now. We're gonna be a personal, because your workout videos is crazy.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, I was watching that. So I know we're talking about fitness, but I'm gonna ask another random question about food.
Okay.
Describe the most memorable meal you've eaten.
Ooh, the most memorable.
Now, don't forget, your wife may watch this.
Oh man. Shoot, man. The most memorable, I would say, um, okay. My wife, she can make some really good potatoes. She can
Okay.
make some really I like the lumpy potatoes. I don't know about everybody else. It can't be too like loose and watery. She make them lumpy, just like my grandmother used to make them. So she made one night. She made the potatoes and meatballs, and she made the green beans, and I think she also probably had some meatloaf too. I'm not sure, but I think that was one of the best meals I had for sure.
That's a safe answer.
Thank you, man. You,
Wait, was that one of your cheat meals that night?
that was definitely before I started the weight loss journey. I'm gonna tell you that. Yeah.
Now, you are a member of Great Faith.
Yes.
Talk about being at Great Faith. A lot of great musicians, Fred Hammond, Ernest Lee, have
Mhm.
all come out of Great Faith.
Yeah.
Talk about the impact of being at Great Faith and what it means in your ministry and your life.
Man, I don't think I would be half of the person that I am today if it wasn't for Great Faith and the impact that they had, Apostle Wayne T and Dr. Beverly had on my life. I remember, I think it was 94 when my father decided to join Great Faith. I was 9 years old, and Fred Hammond was there at the time when we joined. Ernest was on the organ. But just learning it's such a prophetic atmosphere there, and it's not just a musical side. Talent is one thing, but just to see someone and see your leaders operating in the prophetic realm when it comes to music, and it could really reach heaven, it really gives you a different love for the sound of music, the heavenly sound of music, and relating it to everyday life. And I think that's what helped me identify my identity. I think that's what helped me understand where I want to go in music and how I want to reach souls and bring them into the kingdom. I think that just had a great impact on my life, man. There's so many miracles, signs, and wonders and things that happen there that just kind of helped me navigate how to create music. Yeah.
You also are the winner of the Bethany Christian Service, along with William Moore Jr. and Fred Hammond, Battle for the Family competition.
Yes.
Why did you enter that particular competition?
Well, I saw this event. I think I was just scrolling on Instagram, man, one day, and I saw Fred Hammond make a post. He put a video out. He was like, "Hey, if you think you got the juice, you think you got the talent, sign up. It was $100 to sign up. Said if you got any music videos or whatever, just to submit them." And I think I only had $100. I only had $100 at the time, and I told God, I said, I really want to be in this event, man. And I sold it. I put the $100 down, and the rest was history, man. I won, and I was just surprised and amazed, man, because just to be able to be a part of something, first of all, that helps impact lives.
Right.
And then Fred Hammond is my hero, man. So just to be able to win something that from somebody that I looked up to was just like a dream come true, man. So that's something that I would never ever forget.
So explain what it was that you won.
So I won pretty much an opportunity. The winner gets an opportunity to do a music video with Fred Hammond. That was the prize, to get to fly to Texas and see the warehouse and kind of see how he operates, and get to connect with him and shoot a music video. Now, the agreement with us was I already had a record coming out. So the timing was it was great for me because I already had a record on the way. So he listened to a few of my songs, and he loved compromise, man. He loved
Okay.
compromise. So he was like, man, let's do something with compromise, man. That joint is hot. And I was like, man, I would love for you to do something with me. Are you kidding me? You know. So I'm like a kid, man, just pumped up, and flew out to Dallas with my wife and my producer, Philip Bates, and Wine, my manager. We flew out there, man, and just had a great time learning, sitting under Fred and just watching how he orchestrates. He got a warehouse over here working on cars, over here working on plays, over here working on music. So just seeing his mindset alone was something that I took and learned from for myself. So it was great.
So did it take you back to that 9-year-old kid, first time coming to Great Faith?
Immediately, man. Immediately. And I went there and I had so many conversations with him because I'm like, do you even remember being at Great Faith? Do you remember such and such? Do you remember this person? And then I told him who my dad was, because my dad was was elder in the church, playing a guitar. And when I told him who my dad was, he was like, "What? That's your dad?" So just it was like a full circle moment, man. Just like he didn't know who I was when I signed up for the competition. So for this just to happen, I just felt like it was something that was it was from God, man.
And that is so crazy how God allowed that to come together for you.
Yes.
You sowed the last seed that you had,
Yeah.
but God allowed it to grow. And I was watching a little bit of the video, and you can feel that Fred Hammond. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's talk about Faithful.
Yes, sir.
You've worked with some very hot cats, Cordell Walden,
Man.
Lawrence Washington,
Yes.
Gary Johnson, Philip
Yes.
Bates, Red Campbell.
Yes.
Talk about having that Detroit connection on Faithful.
It's important. It's important. I think Detroit is such a talented city. When we were just watching the Stellars, man, and just looking at all the greats that came out of this city. And there's a sound here that a lot of people, you have to be from here to really understand. But I think Detroit is a talented city. So just having these guys who are a part of this journey, I think was important for me, because Lawrence has something to give to the table. Cordell is such a musical genius, man. He has something to bring to the table that I know I needed. Philip is a untapped talent, man, that the world has not really understood yet. That I feel like bringing these guys together was just a great art, and all these guys mean something important to me individually. So just to have these relationships with these guys and be able to do something with them collectively and bring a sound that's gonna, reach the world, it was a no-brainer, man, to be honest. So it was great.
We were talking earlier about, because a lot of them came out of Hot Sauce.
Yeah.
We were talking about them earlier, and I remember the first time I saw Hot Sauce, I'm like, oh my God, I was so blown away by them.
Yeah.
And to see how God has taken all of them now to a whole other place. Lawrence used to be in my choir when he was a young kid, bad brat. But
that sound like him.
But to see where he is now,
yes,
get on the road with Uncle Charlie and doing things, and I think I was watching the video where he was playing with you on something.
Yes,
I'm proud to see where he is now. How Red is producing other artists. A lot of these guys, they just started out, a Great Faith, Haddon's, but now to see where they've gone to, man, it's just amazing to see that happen.
Yeah, man. Lawrence, I think Lawrence, man, and I just wanted to add, because we're talking about Lawrence. Lawrence is one of those guys, he is as real as it's gonna get, man. And when I got the opportunity, when I was on the road with him with Charlie Wilson, I got to play with Charlie for a year. And I was a nobody. and he just kind of helped mold me on the road and help me mentally, help me stay strong, and help me learn how to carry myself in front of other big names.
Wow.
He's just one of those guys that you just can't forget about, man. So shout out to Lawrence, man.
Almost. Yeah. So I'm gonna tell my age. I remember when he was born.
Oh. Well, you don't tell nobody. I won't tell nobody.
Yeah, that made me feel old all of a sudden. Let's talk about Down with Jesus. That's one of your new singles. What does Down with Jesus mean to you?
Man, Down with Jesus I think Down with Jesus was the very first song that was written. I think Down with Jesus was the very first song. And me and Philip Bates, man, had created this sound in the studio, man. Just, it's something how you asked me this question, man, because I remember, I think I wrote that, I had to be like maybe 17, 16. Not even out of high school yet, man. So that's one of the patriarch songs of mine. Speaking of age, those are one of the older songs. So that's one of the special hits for me, for sure.
I'm gonna do a singing challenge. Sing a song from your project that, if you're having a rough day, that you would just sing.
Just like winter, just like summertime, fall or spring will always be moonlight in the nighttime. When nature calls, it will be. Seasons, man. That's one of my favorites. Yep.
Wow.
That's my go-to, man.
That's your go-to?
Yep.
Now you're going to make me go to it and listen to it now.
Wow. Yes, sir. That's one of my personal favorites, and Faithful is right next to it, man.
Man, you sound awesome. So I'm going to have to take some time to go and listen to the whole project.
Yes,
if
sir.
People want to reach you, they want to download your music, they want to follow you on social media, how can they do that?
You can reach me at Bam Travis Music on Instagram. You can reach me at Bam Travis Music on YouTube. You can reach me at Bam Travis on Facebook. I have a LinkedIn link that you can click on my IG page that will take you to all my music content. It will take you to the music videos as well. Everything, all the interviews as well, Bam Travis Music, you will see on that link. So go to my Instagram page right now at Bam Travis Music, and you will see everything.
As we wrap up, explain to someone why it's important to be down with Jesus.
Man, let me tell you something. As much as the things that I've faced in my life at this age, I think it's vitally important, especially in this day and time, that we be sold out for Jesus, because there are many things in there. If you don't choose Jesus, they got something for you to choose.
That's true.
So in this day and time, I think we need to soul search and understand that he's the one for us, man, and he will never leave or forsake you. So why not choose him? He's for you anyway. So,
be down with Jesus.
Down with Jesus, man.
Man, it's been such a pleasure talking to you today. I've enjoyed this conversation. As we wrap up, just want to remind people to remember to work like you don't need the money, love like you've never been hurt, and dance like no one's watching you. I'm Carl B. Phillips, and you are?
Bam Travis.
God bless you, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
God bless you.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Thank you for listening to The Carl B. Phillips Show. For more information, go to carlbphillips.com.
The Carl B. Phillips Show.
Follow Carl B. Phillips on Instagram so we can stay in contact with each other.